from my birth to the grave. 47's the top. Took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run. Still he answered the call and we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top. Took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run. Still he answered the call and we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. If you haven't seen the debate between Dave Smith and I, you need to go check it out. We tried to post it and they suppressed it for some odd reason. But maybe we'll post it again so you can go watch the debate. But in my personal opinion, I won that discussion. When you start calling people names that tell me you lost the discussion, and also these people who try to be anti-Israel, they just have no facts and no real information to provide for anybody. It's asinine to me. The claim of you could say that Israel is not doing, you don't like the tactics that they're using in Gaza, but to say it's a genocide, you have to be the stupidest person on planet Earth, or you don't know what a genocide is. Let me just give you a couple examples, and we're gonna get to Megyn Kelly, who caused this little soy boy to walk off the mic after he didn't have any facts. But a genocide is like, I don't know, the Holocaust, where 50% or so of Jews were murdered in Europe, killed for no reason. I mean, slaughtered, gas chambers, you name it. Maybe a Rwanda, where 1 million people were killed in 100 days. That's like 90% of the population of the group of people that were killed in 100 days. That's a genocide. The expulsion of Christians in all these Arab countries where they're killing mass amount of them, that's a genocide. What are you talking about? Some people dying, and we don't even know what the numbers are because you're taking them from a terrorist organization. So a terrorist organization, we got to believe them. Or they would never lie about the numbers. They would never lie. They would never push propaganda either. Everything that they put out is 100% accurate. And the only terrorist group that we've ever taken any reasonable or given them any credence have been this one. People that have stolen money from their people, built tunnels, put their people out there to get killed in a war that they started and they're combative in. That group, we go, yeah, they're right. Yeah, the numbers are right. Yeah, the videos that they put out is all right. Let's get to Megyn Kelly real quick, because I think the campus tours have started again. Thank God that obviously we have to do it indoors because people like this, and not him, but people with this ideology, idiots who literally have something missing. Look at him. something is missing behind the eyeballs. There's something ain't right back there. They don't know how to critically think. They get hyper emotional. They're weirdos, okay? Because weirdos exist. Conservatives can't do an event outside because we have to have extra protection. Name a leftist that was on campus speaking and got hurt by a Republican. These losers would be doing events and nobody walked by the event. When I go to campus, we have the Turning Point tent set up and everybody's protesting and screaming and cussing. They got their little non-binary tents posted up. The We Stand Gays for Palestine. They got all that set up and nobody even look at their tent. Nobody look at their little thing. Nobody's knocking off buttons on it. Never has that happened that I know of. All right, let's get to Megyn Kelly because she did an incredible job. Shout out to Megyn Kelly for even being brave enough to do this in the climate that we live in. Roll the clip.
Why you support a president who contributes to the rhetoric that got your friend Charlie killed. We saw his rally recently. He said, "I hate my enemies." Stephen Miller said similar things. How can you support him when he contributed to what got Charlie killed?
Assumes facts, not evidence. What you said is not true.
70% of political violence is committed by Republicans.
Okay.
Look it
Pause.
up.
That's not true.
DOJ just
Hold on.
pulled it.
Pause
DOJ.
it. Pause it. Lil Weenie here. Let me give you some facts. Well, you look at it, and this is the statistical data points. It says since 1975, about 3,500 political motivated murders have occurred in the United States of America, and 11% of those are right-wing extremists. Right-wing extremists is not Republican. So you wrong on 500 levels. Roll the clip.
The DOJ just pulled it from their website. DOJ just pulled the study from their website because they're delusional.
That's not true because
They just pulled it. Look it up.
Once you
the
pull
DOJ
the
pulled it from their website.
Once you pull the crazies out of there, it is overwhelmingly left-wing violence.
Google it.
We have had
Every single
No, I
person in the
understand.
audience, Google it right now.
You know, this is how we get here. So first of all, let me take on the first part of it, the premise of your question, that it was President Trump's rhetoric that led to an assassin killing our friend Charlie Kirk. That's a blatant lie. It's a defamatory blaspheme, and it's inappropriate in this setting.
That's not what I said.
We know. Yes, it is.
No, I said he contributed to the political atmosphere.
Well, then you have no point.
tension.
Then your point is utterly empty.
What
Contributing to the atmosphere.
This
guy was let's just make clear. This guy was motivated by leftist ideology. We know it from the bullet casings. We know it from the Utah governor. We know it from his own mother. Yes, we do. Let's be really clear on that.
Even if that's true, so then you're saying because, let's say this guy's a leftist, even if that's true, does that make it okay for the sitting president of the United States to incite violence against liberals?
The President of the United States has not accepted violence against liberals. The President of the United States made a joke at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which was funny and self-deprecating. It was on the heels of Erica Kirk saying she, in an extraordinary moment, forgave her husband's killer.
He
And let me finish. And then President Trump got up and making a joke, playing off of what Erica said. He said, "We disagree. I need to do better. Erica's going to try to convince me, but I'm in a different place." And that's completely normal for a politician to be thinking about his political fights. And by the way, Trump has every right to loathe his enemies. They tried to put him in jail for the rest of his life.
Rightfully
They tried to
so.
bankrupt him.
Rightfully so.
They tried to put
He's
his
a
family
criminal.
in jail.
He's a
And they
criminal.
tried to kill him.
Criminal. Jack
wait.
Smith.
Wait. Okay, now you go.
Thank you for your time.
Dang, the girl behind him, I feel bad for her because his question was so crazy, she went crazy. I mean, God dang. Let's address this real quick because I do these debates all the time on campus. The way that you diffuse these people is that, and Charlie would do this really well, you don't need to answer a question that's that stupid. You ask them to expound upon what they're saying, and then they will say something stupider, and it'll make them look bad. So when a person comes up and says his rhetoric, okay, give me an example. Give me an example of what you're talking about. Can you provide an example? And a lot of times they have not even thought of this. So they go, all right. You don't have an example. You just talking out your neck right now. And then he goes and says, contributing to the violence because Donald Trump said he hate his enemies. Now, you have to make a lot of assumptions when it comes to he hate his enemies. What does that mean? He didn't say, I want to kill my enemies. He said he hate his enemies. Now, when you look at the totality of circumstances, he did go, and Megyn Kelly articulated this, that he said, I'm maybe wrong, Charlie would be mad at me, and I'm open to them changing my mind. So he didn't say he was even married to the concept, unequivocally, of hating his enemies. And there's a difference between hating somebody and killing them. And then when he said the whole right-wing thing, it's just like, I would love to look at the study myself, because how are they categorizing somebody as right-wing? They say I'm right-wing. They say Megyn Kelly is right-wing. They say Charlie Kirk is right-wing. What exactly is right-wing in the definition of right-wing? Because you believe in what? Because conservatives don't believe in violence, period. So you can't be on our side. We are not racist. So if you're a racist person, you are not on our side. You're another variation of a leftist, in my personal opinion. We don't go and kill people that we disagree with. Where's that? Where did that happen? The plot against Gretchen Whitmer was a FBI coerced plot. That means guys, the FBI went to them to create a scenario to do an assassination. They didn't on their own do an assassination. They didn't plan it. They didn't schedule it. It was FBI that joined with them and suggested it, and then tried to help them through planning an assassination. That's why you don't see him in jail right now. You want to go down a list? Like, what did they say? One of the biggest, I guess, high number count mass shootings that occurred in our country was the Dummy at Post nightclub. That was one of them. What is that? Muslim ideology. That's not conservative right wing. Then you go to the Vegas shooting. What did they find in his hotel? Antifa propaganda. Now, we know that there's something else going on there, but if you want to say which way did he lean, why would he have Antifa propaganda in his room when they busted in there and found him dead? Only left-wing people do stuff like this. Why would you shoot up an American conservative country music concert? That's conservatives. Our buddy, who's the country music singer, Jason Aldean, he's conservative. So you're looking at a conservative country music artist with a pro-American event, and all country music is pro-American drinking beer on a tailgate with neon lights. That ain't got nothing to do with anything other than being an American patriot, and somebody shooting that up is a leftist. Then you go on and you go to who's next? I mean, you go to the guys that tried to shoot up the Republican baseball game, leftists. The guy tried to kill Steve Scalise. Well, he got shot in that, right? I think he got injured in that. Steve Scalise got injured in that. And then you go to Donald Trump, a leftist nut job. Charlie Kirk, a leftist nut job. Us getting attacked on campus, leftist nut jobs. And Donald Trump's second assassination attempt, a leftist lunatic. What are we saying? How are they categorizing this? They're saying statistically, when we did some research on this, they're saying that obviously most of the terrorist activity has been Islamic extremists, which they don't want to say that, which 9/11 was. And then you go on and they say 391 murders since 1975 was right-wing extremists. And then they go through and it says left-wing extremists was 10%. I just have a question of how are they picking who's who? And I would argue that anybody that they don't agree with, they automatically call them right wing. David Duke, who was condemned by Donald Trump, who has no place on the right, and I don't think he's right wing. He is another faction of this leftist isolationist theology. This is exactly what they believe in. They believe in isolationism. And when I say isolationism, it's similar how the Ku Klux Klan operated, which was the Democrat Party's ideology. Isolationists in their terms is anybody that don't think like us should be outside of our group. That's isolationist thinking. That's the same as KKK and racists. They believe that their group should be their group and everybody outside their group is bad and wrong. That's not a Republican or right-wing talking point. Now, shout out to Megyn Kelly for doing that because as a woman, I'm pretty sure she has some bodyguards back there that will smoke you like a blunt. But she did go out nonetheless and do that, and shout out to her and Turning Point for putting on these events because we can't stop. Even if we do it indoors, you still can have a debate situation like that. You just can control the violence because you got to worry about left wing. Now, think about this. Let's get to our next story. These HBCUs. You will never find a liberal going to campus and this happening to him. You will never find this. Now, with all due respect, I don't know these guys. They went there looking for some smoke. But that does not mean that people should have brought the smoke. Why can't people be normal, rational people that can just come have a conversation? But as we know, left-wing violence is the biggest threat to America. Exhibit A, roll the clip.
What would that be? Okay, you can't, don't do that. Come on. Yo.
Now I want y'all to pay attention. As this is happening, what are the people in the crowd doing? This is not a one-off. This like when Hamas took hostages over to Gaza, everybody was cheering that you saw. Did you see anybody not cheer? Everybody was cheering. They endorsed the behavior. Look at what happened and watch how many people endorse the behavior. Even if they're not contributing, they're endorsing it. Roll the clip.
Oh, you better not, Blake! You better not!
Okay.
You better not!
Bring the sign back.
This is embarrassing.
We're gonna do like a little end live pre-game or post-game situation here. We have 500 people watching.
We've got 500 right here watching.
Look. Whoa. This is insane. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Hey, you're pretty close. Yeah.
Well, I think the Fearless Tour definitely made an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Did somebody just throw something in our car?
Arrest.
They just try to hit the car.
No, hold on. Pause. Because it's finna get interesting. Trust me. Now, do you see anybody in camera view that's not yelling, screaming, encouraging the violence, being violent, throwing up the middle finger, using the N-word against these white dudes? Do you see anybody that's just bystanders standing around observing? Do you see any? And let me add this. You will never find a video on the internet where a black man goes to a campus full of white people and get accosted like this unless he's conservative. You get a black man going to a conservative campus and with a Kamala hat on, you will never see this happen. It's pure racism. This is a problem, America. Finish the clip.
My gosh.
I think Horace is still out there trying to make sure the car is safe.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, officers.
Wow. Hey!
Yeah, they threw a drink up top.
Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. Yeah, we got this all live. I'm posting this directly after so everyone can see exactly what happened.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we are out of here. We'll see you later from the Fearless Tour gang.
Are they going to block me in here now?
I think that might be what they're trying to do. They're intentionally blocking us.
They're blocking us. Here comes the cop. I'm not going to hit it now, I guess. We've got more stuff. They're hitting the car.
I thought they wanted us to leave.
They're They're hitting the car. We're trying to leave, and they're telling us to leave, and they don't want us to leave, I guess. Hey.
Not one
They're
person
still hitting the car.
that's just watching.
How is this a university?
Look, they're intentionally blocking.
This is at a university. TSU. This is at a university where people go to be educated for the future. Can you imagine these people being released out from behind the gates into public life? You know how insane this is? This is a black university, and this is what we offering up to the world for the world to see. Roll it.
They want us to leave, but they don't want us to leave. It's like the biggest conundrum of all time. They're still hitting the car. This is wild. It's like a zombie apocalypse or something, man. Like they're,
They got Mexican in there.
They're still hitting the car. Whoa! That was loud.
She's gonna do this the whole way out of here. Oh, here we go.
Just go
No, police.
direction, David. David, just go straight.
No.
They do not debate with their ideas, guys. They just... whoa. Yeah, we're gone now. We are gone now.
Now let's see how this is being covered. Go to ground.news real quick, because this is the website that I'll be telling you guys about, and the only website I know of that actually covers this stuff and give you a balanced perspective. These people are so crazy. They in pajamas, bonnets, yelling and screaming at some white people for going on campus asking questions. I'm embarrassed for black people right now. This didn't happen at a white university where black people go. This is an HBCU, historical black college and university. This is the best of the best in the black community. It should be, right? It should be. So let's see how the media covered it on ground.news. They got it set for you. Now, we know what the right gonna say about this, right? We know what the right gonna say. We know how it's gonna be covered from the right. Let's see what the left has to say, right? And that's why, and I keep saying this, I would be a wealthy man if I came up with this idea. What a great idea. Let's just click on the left. What is this? Black Enterprise. I'm gonna click on Black Enterprise, which they're categorized as left. Let's see if they're really left. Let's look at what they say. TSU shuts down MAGA. They have audacity of conservative debate group to spark outrage. So they're blaming it on the group, saying they're trying to spark outrage. In part, that could be true. That don't mean you have to participate in outrage. Y'all supposed to be an example. It's Tennessee State. I don't know why I thought it was Texas State University, but it's Tennessee State University. Now let's go down and see what they're talking about. They showing a little crowd here, obviously crowding around them, look at this mob around these kids. But let's go down here. Oh, here you go. NAACP. Let's see what the NAACP got to say. NAACP ain't done nothing for black people since the inception. Now, y'all probably can't see this little writing on here, but the NAACP made an article. So the NAACP is claiming that they are intentional in efforts to antagonize. So black folks are so silly and they're so immature in their development as adults that a person with a different idea is antagonizing them. A person with a different idea is antagonizing them. Let's see what TSU said. TSU made a statement. It says, today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest actively requires advance approval and permission. Okay, let's say that they didn't. I believe that TSU is a public university. I don't think it's private. Maybe if it is, I will see. It says campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. Thank God. And at all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. What in the world are you watching? This is respectful and professional? You can't make you cannot make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Let's see what the conservative want to talk about. Let's go to a conservative article real quick. And we can do the one at the top, the Daily Caller. Okay, we'll click on the Daily Caller. Shout out to Charlie Kirk. HBCU forced out Charlie Kirk inspired group over MAGA hat anti-DEI signs. It says incite fear. So they go through and you can just read it. I can even, the fact that they put TPSU in there, TPUSA in there, tells you all you need to know. I don't want to read all this stuff. Y'all know I can't read that good. And then they go and post this stuff. So you can go and look at yourself. And this is the statement. And what are they saying about a statement? Proving that this statement is full of crap. So the right side, they get it. We understand. And this is why I like Ground Out News, because you can figure all this stuff out. And also, make sure you, when you go on here, check out the blind spot stuff, because there's some stuff that you ain't paying attention to that you should, and stuff they ain't paying attention to that they should be paying attention to. And it gives the grading right here. And also, if you want to do it, listen, I got you covered. All right. I'll give you a discount on this site. You can get the Vantage plan, which is the one that I have. And I don't like half of it. I want all of it. I want to see all the matrix, all the details that they have to offer. And the Vantage plan will give you a discount. Link is in the description section. So look in the bio, link in the description section if you want a discount. Every single person that's watching me right now should be watching and being involved in Ground Out News, because you get fair and balanced news without question. I want to continue, but I'm not going to continue on with this topic because I feel bad. Black people have put their foot in their butt and mouth at the same time with this. Does this represent every black person? No, but it is significant that a historical black college and university performs like this on the stage in front of the world. The only reason they were mad at these people is because these are white people coming onto campus. And they don't like that white people have something to say about DEI. They don't like that white people are wearing MAGA hats. Come on. All right, let's get to the next story. This one is, and it's another black person. See, I try not to talk about you black people, but y'all keep cutting up. This man is drawing swastikas. I think I gave it away. This man is drawing swastikas. Now, swastikas are supposed to be drawn by Nazis, or people would imagine white folks that are racist will be drawing swastikas. So let's look at the person drawing swastikas. Oh, Negrodamus is drawing swastikas. And then you know what they do? They go and act like they discovered swastikas and then cry and say, the white man, look at what they're doing. If racism and white supremacy was so prevalent, you would never see a black or brown body doing this. You would never see them. They at school writing N-word on LeBron James' house. I bet a black man did that. White people ain't going to LeBron James' house and drawing an N-word on his door. White people love LeBron James. They show up to all his games. They buying all his gear. They even love Bronny. It's only people like this that be doing stuff that we now see and they call racism. Okay, this happened. A man was drawing swastikas outside of Beverly Hills Elementary School. And here's the thing that I found out about this is that this is an area that has a lot of Jewish people in it. The greater Los Angeles area had 530,000 Jewish residents. 26% of Beverly Hills residents are Iranian Americans, many whom are Jews. So this fool, just like they do, write this out here, cry racism, write this out here, and try to act as if it's a white supremacist doing it. It's really these people. And I would argue some of these people, probably pro-Palestinian, are the biggest threat. Let's go to the news clip. Oh my. seat. All right.
We're following breaking news out of Beverly Hills right now. There is heightened security presence around all schools after a man was spotted drawing a swastika near El Rodeo Elementary. This is a blurred image of the sidewalk where that image was drawn. Of course, this is right before the Jewish High Holy Days begin. The school district telling NBC4 the sidewalk is now cleaned up.
Shocking, disappointed. These things, unfortunately, today in our society are not uncommon, but we as a school district, as a community in Beverly Hills, we don't tolerate it.
Now, we have reached out to police as far as what they know about this investigation, and we will let you know just as soon as we hear back.
They got a picture of him. Let's see if they throw the book at him. If you were to deface the trans sidewalk, they'll hit you with a felony. To me, this is terrorism. This is not terrorism, but a hate crime. This is anti-Semitism. Racism, anti-Semitism, hate crime. If you were to do this against black folks and you were white, they'll say it's a hate crime. I want to see how they treat this black dude with anti-Semitism. It bothers me to no end that this stuff continues to go on. But let's look into his background. Let's see if this guy, and put him all on the internet like you would do a white man. If a white man did this to black people, put him on the internet. I'm not saying dox his house or nothing, but put him on the internet and his posts and his social media so people can see what kind of idiot this is. There's no place in America for hatred against other people, bro. No matter if it's Jew or not. You don't have to like Jewish people, which is stupid if you just frame every Jew. But you can have a problem with some Jewish people, which I do with these leftist Jews. They're nut jobs, just like the black ones. But that don't mean you got to be hateful, bruh. I can walk down the street and be like, I can't stand these people. They ain't got that. Now I'm too busy grinding and doing my own thing to be worried about threatening people. Just pure stupidity. James O'Keefe. Let's talk about James O'Keefe real quick. Exposes why Epstein list isn't released. Now, let's talk about this. This Epstein thing is still a controversy. You guys have heard my thoughts on Epstein. I'm open-minded to any possibility. I'm not married to anything because I have no idea what's going on with Epstein. I have no idea. Like, some people are married to the idea that he was Mossad, that he was intelligence. Some people are married to the idea that he was blackmailing everybody that had a pedophile ring. Like, I don't really know what to believe, but I'm open to all options. If somebody came to me and said, facts have shown that he did kill himself in the prison system, is it bizarre as it would be? What information do I have to do to declare that that's not right? They said that he killed himself. Now, you can say they lying if you don't, but I don't have no evidence to disprove what they're saying. Then you go off on a thing that's Ghislaine Maxwell said it was a hit, like somebody ordered a hit. That seems very plausible. When you're in prison, somebody ordered a hit. That's probably why the guards were falling asleep and the cameras didn't work. I could see them hitting him in the jail there because he's a prolific pedophile, allegedly. They didn't get a chance to present it in court, but all the evidence that we've seen so far, he messing with underage women and stuff. People say it's even worse than that at Epstein Island, but I ain't never been there, so how am I going to tell what's really going on there? So it's a lot of conspiracies around this. But James O'Keefe caught somebody on another hot mic, and this is what they said. Let's roll the clip.
So I talked about yet, but it's small problem.
This is Glenn Prager. No, I don't think no association to Dennis Prager. Glenn Prager, Jeffrey Epstein investigator from the Department of Justice. This is what he allegedly said. I always get suspicious with these things because I'm like, are people that stupid? Have you never watched James O'Keefe before? If somebody asking you questions that can be incriminating to you, wouldn't you think, why is this person asking me these questions? If this ever get out, I'm probably going to get in trouble. You have no way of thinking. You're carrying around an investigatory badge for the Department of Justice on a backpack. Like, anyway, I wrote a clip.
He was a CIA informant.
He was a CIA informant.
He wasn't a CIA. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there, but he's protecting a lot of people. Because Trump's now saying it's a hoax, it's the case like a hoax or something. I mean, come on, you know it's not a hoax. He's been on the plane, many times. It's just he was never on the plane with the kids. I've seen the itineraries and I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and a rape occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton, and it can't be said for others. While the Clintons were on the plane, while Bill Clinton was on the plane, there were rapes that occurred.
Overheard at Phoenix Airport on September 8th, 2025, a senior Justice Department investigator who personally worked on the Epstein case tells all. Glenn Prager, who has reviewed Epstein itineraries and has interviewed Epstein's victims, drops a bombshell. He says that the DOJ did not want to go after Epstein because he's a CIA asset, that the evidence from his investigation confirms that Bill Clinton was present for alleged rapes on the Lolita Express, and that President Trump was not present for the rapes that Glenn Prager investigated, but that he is protecting a lot of other people that were.
How about this whole Epstein thing that's like going on?
I worked on that case. I used to interview all the victims, and my picture was 20 to 30 victims, in Palm Beach that I was interviewing and dealing with and stuff like that. And then we would go ready to go to trial, and they would flip. Epstein would just pay them off, and they were just like these little kids. They pay off their family. They're all broke kids and poor families, and all. So you pay them off like anywhere from $150,000 to $500,000. Nothing in that guy's world.
Prager there describes how the victims that he interviewed were paid off by Epstein right before going to trial. Prager has worked as an investigator inside the Department of Justice for over 20 years. According to Prager's LinkedIn About page, it says that during the tenure at DOJ, Prager served as an inspector overseeing sensitive investigations involving major DOJ components, including the FBI, DEA, Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, and the U.S. Attorney's offices. This seems to corroborate what Prager told us. He was tasked with interviewing Epstein's rape victims and investigating flight logs. On his backpack in the airport, we spotted an embroidered FBI patch.
Oh my God!
Which caught
He finna go to jail.
Citizen journalist.
I'll tell you this, because no, it's not talked about yet, but it'll soon come out that he was a CIA informant.
He was a CIA informant.
He wasn't a CIA.
Although many have suspected it to be the case, this is the first time a Department of Justice official has confirmed that Epstein worked for the CIA and is a foreign asset.
So DOJ was settling the case, and they were just letting him, do house arrest and they minimized his arrest. Part of that is because all the victims kept on flipping, and they didn't have anyone to go to trial with. The more importantly part is they didn't want to go after him. He's a asset for the United States and Israel for the CIA. I just know that's what he was, and that's why he was protected so long for this. And people turned a blind eye about all this garbage that he was doing in the United States. He had a lot of secrets, more about Israeli stuff than anything else. I mean, he was doing stuff for Israel and the United States. He was, he's working for both.
Glenn Prager, the Department of Justice investigator on the Epstein case, then talks about whether President Trump was involved. Many are trying to...
I kind of believe this dude, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of believe, it sounds very believable. He's credentialed. He claimed he did it. He got the back. You see the backpack. You see his LinkedIn profile. I mean, God dang, James O'Keefe. I'm about to donate. Where's the donation link? Tax deductible donation. James O'Keefe. This is crazy. I'm not being funny. Y'all know what my stance has been like. I don't know what it is. I'm open to anything. I kind of believe this dude real quick. I used to wonder why James O'Keefe used to go to conservative events with security around him. And now I realize, James O'Keefe, if you are exposing what the government is hiding, you might want to get plastic surgery or something, because you are the number one threat. Let's finish this, because I am believing that this guy is right and that he was an asset to the U.S. and Israel, which is confusing, but that sounds right to me. Come on, let him finish.
Tie Trump to Epstein, but what Glenn Prager says is that Trump wasn't present during the inappropriate sexual behavior that he was investigating. But Prager does say that Bill Clinton was, backed up by his experience interviewing the victims and reviewing the Epstein Lolita Express itineraries. Quote, they killed the Epstein list to protect the Clintons.
They claim that Trump's involved in the rapes and all that stuff. He wasn't. I mean, I've seen the agendas, I've seen the itineraries, and I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and a rape occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton, and it can't be said for others. I remember that it was being killed because I know Clintons were on there. And
The Clintons were on there.
100%. And while the Clintons were on the plane, while Bill Clinton was on the plane, there were rapes that occurred. And I'm saying Trump, although as many flights as there were and all that kind of stuff, and on the island and all that stuff, he was never there during a single alleged rape. But that Clinton for sure, and that's where the big cover-up was.
The Department of Justice investigator inside the Trump Justice
I want to put this in perspective, y'all, because as an investigator, this is what comes to my mind, and I always want to be fair to you guys. When he say they were on a plane when rapes occurred, allegedly, I think that the public needs to hear at least the statements from the victims. That's all I'm saying, because people be lying. So they don't necessarily mean because he said it happened or the people are claiming that it happened, that it actually happened. But when you listen to the testimony of these people, you'll be able to determine if it was somebody allegedly said that they did something, but they were escorts getting paid to do something, and now they're saying retracting and saying, no, I didn't want to, I was against my will. And then you find out that they were paid, they got on a plane, like Diddy. They got on a plane to do services, and they went and did service on the plane. They got text messages from the person saying, the great job, let's do it again. Like, so I want you guys to balance it. Because just because people are saying it. Now, if these are minors, that's a whole nother story. I don't care what they were doing. If they're minors, then you shouldn't even be on a plane with minors like this. But if these people aren't minors or something like that, I think we should hear it so we can make a real determination. Because sometimes people say stuff to be salacious, right? Every rape occurred. But it's like, well, was it really or was it not? Was it consensual and somebody backed out of? That's like going up to that one dude room. You going up to that ugly, nasty dude room at midnight, and you a grown woman, and he already got rumors in the industry that he nasty like that. Harvey Weinstein room. Come on, bro. You just regret it. If I was in a hotel room and Rihanna wanted me to come to her room at 1 o'clock in the morning, you'll never know about it because I'd have went up there and had fun. Not that I'm saved. I'm saying before I was saved. Y'all know I'm saved. I don't want no woman but my wife. But before I was saved, you couldn't coerce me. I'd had a good time. Matter of fact, you're doing me a favor. Am I right though? Like it's kind of weird, the double standard, right? That dude nasty, ugly, and fat, and his breath probably stink. His bunions stink, and some woman is like, he want me to come up to do an interview at midnight in this hotel, and I'm sure he was secretive about it. Like, oh, don't sit. Here's the room key. He want to interview you, and you get up in his room and he go, look, if you want to be a star, you gotta do this, and you do it, and then you feel violated. Well, why you don't see men doing that? Even if she ugly, if she a producer of a show, you're like, all right, I done had my nights where I've done worse. Okay, I drank a little too much. I've done worse. Woke up and got scared. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. I ain't never really had that experience, but I know somebody had, and you know what I'm talking about. That's why you laughing. You like, look, it ain't the worst that I could do. At least I'm gonna be rich. But it's like women feel so like, I went there and he just took advantage of me. It's like, no, you went there to do Kamala Harris. You went there to be Kamala Harris for a minute so you can be rich. Okay? And then he didn't follow through and then you mad. I'm not saying every woman was like that, but I bet you half of them were. Roll the clip.
Says that while Trump may not have been present during the crimes that Prager investigated, it is clear that Trump is, quote, protecting a lot of people.
I don't know what's new that I have never seen that he's so hesitant to now show what's going on, and releasing all these files. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there, but he's protecting a lot of people.
The citizen journalist boarded American Airlines Flight 1634 and landed in D.C. Monday at 8 o'clock at night and proceeded to go to dinner with this man, this DOJ investigator, at a restaurant called Blue Duck Tavern. Glenn Prager dislikes the fact Trump said the Epstein scandal is a hoax, but he also says, according to the evidence from his investigation, that Trump is not covering up for himself.
Because Trump's now saying it's a hoax, the case is like a hoax or something. I mean, come on, you know it's not a hoax. He says a lot of stupid stuff. He's been on the plane, many times. Mm-hmm. It's just he was never on the plane with the kids. People want to tie it to him and say he's covering up for himself, but he's not.
Now, this is a very good thing for President Trump and seemingly exonerates him from many people who claim that he was doing something inappropriate himself. This dinner went on for an hour and 45 minutes as this Department of Justice investigator revealed things to a stranger that the leadership of the FBI and the Department of Justice has not. Prager revealed more information about Trump's hesitation to be fully transparent with the Epstein case, gave us some details about internal gripes against FBI Director Kash Patel from within the FBI, and he detailed a developing feud between Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi.
All right, hold the phone. This is getting way too juicy, and it's a lot more to go. So for those of you who are watching this live, you know what? Those of you watching this live, in post-production, when we put the video at itself, we'll play the whole clip, and we'll go from there because it's going to take too long on the live stream. Okay. All right. So y'all heard a lot of that. I'm shocked that I think it really happened. Like I think that there's more to this. Like I think. Listen, I love Donald Trump, and I think he's a great president. But I can see how he may make an executive decision to say, this is too much to put to the public, because people are silly. And in the positive side, you could say people are silly and they cannot compartmentalize. So every claim, people will run with it as fact, and therefore people's lives will be ruined. I can see on that side how Trump could be evaluating that and saying, people just want to be viral and they want content and they're going to ruin people's lives. So I don't want to disclose this without any type of investigative findings. On the other side, I can see him saying half of the government going to get in trouble. Methods and it's the thing. Here's the thing about this real quick. This is where the failure happened. People that wasn't in the government wanted juiciness. They wanted to be able to talk about this. They wanted the left to be implicated. They went so hard about stuff that they had no real understanding of. And then they get in the office and they realize, oh, shoot, this is way more than we pitched off. Now we got to divert. And this is the problem. And our government, in many ways, is communication. If I was in the government and I had seen this happen, I don't think I'd have went on there and said, there's nothing there. Why y'all even tripping? I'd say, there is a lot there. But we cannot compromise the investigation by disclosing this stuff. Just know that we're going to finish the investigation and people will be held accountable. I would be okay with that. Okay, all right, we know we got the right people in. And y'all, clearly there may be some compromise and stuff that get out there. We don't want to disclose the victims' names. We don't want to, listen, they botched the investigation. We have to go back and thoroughly do this. And we got to do it right. And we got to do it methodical. And we have to be accurate because we don't want no stone unturned. So bear with us. It's going to take us a few years because there's a lot of material there. But we are investigating. People will be mad because, people are silly and they mad. But that's better than just 1 minute you got binders, next minute everything there, we're going to disclose it. Next minute we got it on the table, I saw it, so ain't nothing there. Why y'all even talking about this? Stupid. All y'all stupid. That right there is why everything's screwed up. Communication. All right, Stephen A. Smith, real quick. Let's go to Stephen A. Smith real quick. I've become a big Stephen A. Smith fan because Stephen A. Smith has had a history lately of keeping it real. When I say lately, the last few years, he's been on the right side. And it's not easy to be Stephen A. Smith. As a black man, I can tell you, and I'm not even in the world that Stephen A. is in the world of, and I ain't been rich like Stephen A. And so Stephen A. got a lot to lose from his constituency, all the black people that supported him all the way through, if he started keeping it real, because they don't want to hear the truth. But Stephen A. Smith is now saying he got that $100 million contract, $150 million. I don't know what he did. God dang, let me hold some money. 5 year, $100 million. He like, y'all, I got $100 million. In 5 years, I'll turn the internet off. But this is what he had to say about him not apologizing for standing up for Charlie Kirk. Wrote a clip.
Folks want me to apologize, want me to correct myself. You can go to hell. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit up there, neither celebrate somebody's murder or gloss over what happened to them in the moment. Now that a memorial service is taking place, now that people have had an opportunity to mourn, now that we have an opportunity to sit back and go through all of that, maybe we can go back and revisit some of the things he said. Make sure we do our best to contextualize it properly. And whatever level of criticism, cynicism, or anything beyond that he may deserve at that particular moment in time, it seems more apropos today. It wasn't apropos last week. It wasn't apropos the days before that. Because we live in America. And I don't want anybody come thinking that it's okay to come across like there's ever a reason to condone or act like it's okay for somebody to get murdered in front of our very eyes. That's me. That has been me. That is me, and that will always be me. I'm not backing up from that for anybody. To me, it's human decency. Where the issue's going? He said something that was offensive to the black community. What, that disappears now? Of course it doesn't. He said something that was disrespectful to women. He said something about civil rights legislation and how it should have never been put into place. He said something about members of the LGBTQ community. Those issues aren't going anywhere. We could discuss them now. We didn't have to discuss them then. It was a week ago. It's wrong to want to give a family an opportunity to mourn. Think about what you're saying.
See, Stephen, that's why I like Stephen A. And then when me and Stephen A connect, we're going to have a cigar, some whiskey together. I'm going to take a picture and post it online for you guys to know that like minds can connect. Because I love what he said, though. Even the people on the left, Kamala Harris or that snake oil salesman in California, Gavin Newsom, if that happened to him, now I'm not finna get out and be like, oh, it's so sad, because I don't feel that way about him. But I ain't gonna get out there and bash that man. I'm gonna let them put him to rest. I'll ease off of him for at least the time until they put him in the ground. I won't bash his family, because at the end of the day, even though he's a dummy, his family don't deserve to get whacked over the head because their husband is stupid. So I would just hold off for a minute, let it rest out of respect for human decency, and then I'm back on it. Now, the thing about Gavin Newsom and Charlie Kirk is that y'all stupid who are saying that he was a racist. You just stupid. So you ain't getting back on nothing because it don't exist. Y'all, man, talking about, he said something about the black community. What did he say? Go watch his videos. He said unequivocally about the Civil Rights Act being that the way it was rolled out and the ramifications and hijacking that has happened to the Civil Rights Act now made it not right for them to do it the way they did it. Let me just explain to you. The civil rights should have been about black people and black people alone. That's what it should have been. But they opened it up, so now the LGBTQ then took over. Now trans people then took over for what black people fought for, unique issues that black people were facing. There has never been a two water fountain. I almost said two water fountain solution. I've been doing too much Gaza and Israel. A 2 water fountain solution. Y'all know 2-state solution? That was funny. I could be a comedian. But there ain't never been a gay water fountain and a white water fountain. There ain't never been an organization that was organized against a certain people outside of Jewish and black people. There ain't been no gay stuff like that. What y'all talking about? They hang you from a tree just for you being gay. Really, nobody knew you were gay unless you came out and be like, I'm gay, look at me, I'm gay. When you black, you come out like this, they know you black. There ain't never been the same struggle. Gay people ain't had the struggle that black people had. All these other groups that done jumped on the bandwagon, they ain't had the struggle that black people had. Civil rights should have been about black people. It shouldn't have been about all this other stuff. Now it's hijacked. Now the civil rights black people ain't even considered in the civil rights. It's just LGBTQ and stuff. And then they weaponize black struggle to push their agenda. There ain't no legislation that been passed to protect black people or help them in any kind of way, uniquely. You see all kind of stuff that Obama did for gays and stuff. Okay. We'll keep that going. And Stephen A. Smith also called out the left for Jimmy Kimmel's hypocrisy. I want to play that clip. Roll it.
Here's the problem. Did we say that when Tucker Carlson was pulled off the air by Fox News? Did we say that?
Come on, Stephen A. Come on.
Did we say that? Or would we say that if Gutfield was pulled off the air by Fox News? Government overreach, the Biden administration and what they were doing when it came to Facebook and X. Were we as outspoken then as we were over the last few days? Because you see, on this show, we're talking consistency. This is why I call myself an independent. This is why I call myself a centrist. Because what I want to do is I want to be able to look at you based on the facts and say, you're right or you're wrong, and that's it. But when you're able to point to the other side doing the same damn thing, preceding you, by the way, and what you're doing, then it becomes a bit more alarming because the word hypocrisy comes into play. And you're able to look at it and say, yo, the other side did the same thing. So why are we engaging in partisanship here?
Come on, Stephen A. See, that's why that's why I'm starting to like Stephen A. more and more and more. Because he's telling the truth and shaming the devil. Why is it that the hypocrisy is there? Jimmy Kimmel laughed at Tucker Carlson when he got fired. And really, well, Tucker Carlson he got fired for a good reason, to be honest. I liked it, and I liked him then, and I still said he got fired for a good reason. Because it was that Dominion thing. He got on air and told all those lies about Dominion, or at least unfounded truths about Dominion, and they sued Fox News for $1 billion. They had to pay Dominion $1 billion. And he was one of the ones that was a part of it. So I guarantee you the settlement, and they settled with them for $1 billion. Dominion was suing them for billions. And I bet you Dominion said, we'll settle, you pay us $1 billion, and you got to get rid of the guy that was pushing that stuff online. And that they had to do what they had to do. And I, you can say what you want about Tucker, man. Of course I don't like him at all no more. I never really liked Tucker. I just didn't have a problem with Tucker. I thought he was a net positive to the movement. Now he's a net negative. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, but that dude is a net negative. Maybe he'll come around, man, and start saying some reasonable stuff, but that dude is silly. But I want to show y'all something real quick. I'm going to make sure we got some left because people have gotten all these. If you want to, they out. I'm sorry. We sold out. And we only made 100 of these. They sold out. They sold out already. We only had that for a day. But it was the Charlie Kirk. It's like the jump man, right? It was Charlie Kirk when he was throwing the hats. It's Charlie Kirk here. And, of course, I got one of one. Here you go. Put me on the screen. I got one of one. And we only made 100 of these, and they're sold out. And I don't know, man. We're not going to make any more because we only had 100. I got one of one. And Well, I got one. It says 1 of 200. We only did 100. So I got 1 of 200. We only did 100. So it's actually 1 of 100. It was our first iteration that we made. Maybe we should have did 200. Should we have done 200?
I mean, it's hot. Keep going.
It's crazy, y'all. It's sold out. It's 150 for it. But all of the profits, 100% of the profits go to Erica. And I just talked to some people on the staff today, and we're going to present that check to them. But we do got some other stuff that you can get to help in the cause. And we're just doing this for Charlie, man, to be honest. Like, if you want to wear the stuff, because I know that Turning Point sold out and, you know, and just know if you think about buying something for Charlie, only go to Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's site, if they got one for him, Officer Tatum. And if you do go somewhere else to buy anything Charlie Kirk related, make sure that they're giving back to Charlie's family or they're giving to Turning Point USA. Do not go and buy stuff. I don't care how convenient it may be. Don't go and buy anything supporting Charlie with his name and stuff on it if it ain't going to Turning Point USA or his family. Everything that we do with Charlie on it, 100% of profits are going directly to his wife. And I'm going to write her a check and she could tell me where she wants the check to go. I don't care. It's up to her. But if you want to get some of the merch, right now it's in pre-order. We're literally down there printing it right now. And if you want some of it, get it now. We have allowed it to go all out, but we're going to have to make some cutoffs here and sell them out. So go and get it now. Go and buy it. Great merch, great quality, and it's going to the Kirk family. So if you want to do that, make sure you take care of that. But we sold out of these bottles. We had 100 of them, and they're all gone. Wow. I'm shocked, actually. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for supporting. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the